miles south of the future home of the Chargers at the current home of the Chargers, and that's Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Tonight, it's a preseason matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and our Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you, and now we sit, CD, at week 3 of the preseason, and this is the one that the coaches probably think is pretty valuable, right?
Certainly. This is the dress rehearsal. This is the one where your starters are going to play. You might even game plan a little bit more than you do with a normal preseason game, and then you've got to decide, do you bring them back after halftime and get them going again in the third quarter so they're ready to go when the regular season begins? I'm eager to see how these coaches will handle that.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken very short. Yeah, he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. They'll have the speedy Tyrod Taylor calling the shots, the former Virginia Tech Hokie. Here's the first carry for Northwestern's Justin Jackson. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. And the offensive starters here for Los Angeles.
I don't think it's hyperbole to say that Mike Pouncey is one of the best centers in the league. And to me, he helped usher in that new wave of centers. Agile, able to get to the second level and block people downfield, able to pull like a guard and get out in front of ball carriers, and pass protects really well, helps keep his quarterbacks clean.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now a give, right side. Jackson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11.
Watch twist. Go. Say.
Off the play fake. Here's Taylor. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Following the interception, Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays and kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them. Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A very solid gain of 27. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
Quick strip. The ball's out and picked up by the Chargers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Harrison Smith's play has been so good in the NFL that he demands the respect of everyone. And I remember a couple of years ago when we talked about the top safeties, his name didn't come up in the first group. It does now. I remember doing a game a couple of years ago where the Rams were trying a lot of razzle-dazzle stuff. And Mike Zimmer, his head coach, pretty much said, sick him to Harrison Smith, and he ended that in a hurry. He can play close to the line of scrimmage, can also cover deep.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Taylor. Escaping the pressure right. He'll run it. Taylor able to use those legs of his to pick up a first. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action with Taylor. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 32 that time.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Play action. Now Taylor. He'll buy some time right. Looking sideline, incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, and it's 2nd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion. Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still third down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Come on, QB, come on.
Out of the gun, it's Taylor. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
That's it, baby. We gonna work.
Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over this one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And an alley to run. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd and a yard, Cousins completes it to the fullback, Ham. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd? They'll run it. Here's Cook. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
But forget knowing where the 1st down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
Bailey's kick is good, and the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Meanwhile, a throw by Taylor is incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. On second down, this is Jackson. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. On fourth down, they'll try and run for it. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. Remember, that was fourth and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and fourth and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's that 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
On second and 12, Taylor rolling to his right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Taylor will throw. And he's got a man open. That's Allen.
Good work, boy. Let's go. Let's go.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up first and 10 at the 36.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
They go play action now. Taylor, flush to his right. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. Taylor incomplete on first down. Here's second and 10. They run with Jackson out of the gun, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On third down, this is Jackson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. Charger football to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a first and 10. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Here's Perkins on first down. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Watch the edge. Go. Kill.
Play action, it's Taylor. This is caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. They'll run for it with Smallwood. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Here's Taylor. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. These offensive starters still out there in the second quarter. You would think the plans for them to at least play into the third quarter, if not all the way through it.
Yeah, it might go by feel. If they have a really good first drive to start the third quarter, they might pull them after that. If not, might leave them out there a little bit longer, but I'll guarantee this, they'll be gone by the start of the fourth quarter.
They'll let the shorter back Perkins run it. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 4th down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This just a 24-yard attempt. Badgley able to punch this one through. And that will tie us at 3-3. That drive just seemed to go for an eternity. I could kind of hear our sponsor saying, hey, we need to get our... The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. They come out here in the eye. They'll run with Cook. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Now Cousins. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown Vikings. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now See on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. So that drive spans 13 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. They go play action here on first down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. Taylor incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Taylor. To throw again. Taylor hit. He lost the football. Taylor going to try and hurry him to the line. Final play of the half. It's Taylor. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Most teams in the league hitting the three-quarter pole in the preseason. The whole league will be in action next Thursday night to wrap it all up. And then we start for real a week after that with the NFL kickoff game. In our game, expect to see the starters for at least one more drive, something to look forward to as we get you back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Our starters likely to be out there for the third quarter as we get back underway in this second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to See what you've done, they're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. As we surmise, Charles, most of the starting units still out there for this third quarter. First time this preseason that they played into the second half.
And that's by design. Most of the time by this point of the preseason, you want them to go into the half, cool down, and then come back out and warm up to start the third quarter like you would a regular season game. That's exactly what they wanted to get done.
Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They run. Cook. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. 3rd and long for Cousins. And that is incomplete. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
The drive starts with a run by Perkins. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about to us all the time.
But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. He's a high draft pick, so maybe a bit of a mulligan, but you never want to throw a preseason interception, especially as a rookie.
No, but this is the time to do it, right? Let's get the kinks out. He's still got to learn how to read coverages, still has to learn the entire offense, has to see how he fits with the players around him. But bottom line is what you said right in the beginning. He's a high draft pick. They want him on the field sooner rather than later, so let's keep giving him some reps and seeing what they have.
And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Kill, kill, kill.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
That's it. That's it. Big hit.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Set. 15 line. 15 line.
I got you. I got you.
Hey, Alpha.
Right there.
Ready?
They'll let Perkins carry to start the drive. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Holton Hill, the one there to bring him down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they work this out past the 25. A gain there of 21 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. To throw again. Herbert. Flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Daniil Hunter bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Herbert. And this one complete to Virgil Green. And it's a fumble, and the Vikings pick up the football.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
Look at that play sheet and go.
Oh, yeah,
I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Joey Bosa able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Here's Britton Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
2nd and 9 now. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball. Quickly, because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this one complete to Smith. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Amir Abdullah, 26 yards. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. Well, they ran the toss, trusting he had the speed to get to the edge, and he did.
And there really wasn't any doubt about that because the scouting report told you that this guy could flat out run. When you give him a little bit of space and a chance to get there, he usually does.
Bailey got the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful.
His kick is good. Makes the score Vikings 24. Chargers 6.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Anthony Zettel popping in for the sack.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Stick looks to throw. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
On 1st down, Abdullah. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Stanley. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. On the run, Abdullah. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Stanley looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone, and now it'll be 4th and goal.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. The Charger drive about to get going. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track? But nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
The first throw for the backup Osweiler. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And they're going to speed things up here.
Rock it. Ready?
On third down, Osweiler looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the